Hey everyone, welcome back. So before I talk about today's video, I want you to take 10 seconds and think about all the things that you did before watching this video and everything that you're planning to do after watching this video. Because I promise you, half of those things include data or something to do with data. So today's video, I'm going to show you the dominance Palantir is creating or why Palantir is becoming one of the most important companies of our generation. We consume so much data every day, and a recent study from IBM came out and they said that 90% of the data that we have today is created in the last 2 years. And data dependence, or DD I call it, is increasing day after day. This video is not only about the stock, this video is about how Palantir is being involved in our daily lives. So I'm going to share my screen and show you my research, and if you get anything out of the video, and please wait till you watch the whole video to give me that thumbs up, share, subscribe and like so this video can go to more Palantir lovers. Here's my screen. So there's a study that came out of IBM, as I mentioned before, that 90% of the data in the world today has been created in the last 2 years. Every day we create 2.5 quintillion bytes, I don't even know how to calculate that, of data, so much that 90% of the data right here of the world has been created in the last 2 years alone. This is massive. Now this alone means not just consumer data, they are talking about all sorts of data that's created. And one of the biggest challenges that countries have today is how to protect the data. And that is why we have articles like the next major war will be very different, Pentagon chief. So US defense or US government is so concerned that they are taking all the necessary steps to protect the country because World War III is going to be very different. Look at this article. The next Cold War is here and it's all about the data. Also, the article like the future of war is cyber. And we recently witnessed that with the pipeline ransom. In the last Palantir video, I talked about it and I'm going to link that video over here. And you can actually see how Palantir, in my opinion, was kind of involved in recovering some of the money. You and I, we both can agree that data is the new gold and how data is getting so much more complex and so much more important in our daily life. Just a few decades ago, there were only 4 essential things that we needed to survive: roof, air, water, and food. Now we added an I in it, which is roof, air, water, food, and internet. So now there are 5 essential things that we need to survive, and that shows you how important data has become in our lives. So now let's bring Palantir into the mix. So in the SEC filing, Palantir actually released that what do they think their total addressable market is, which is in short called TAM. So according to Palantir, the commercial side of business or commercial TAM is about 56 billion for Palantir. The government side of TAM, which is total addressable market, is about 63 billion. Now, being said that, we know that Palantir has been engaged with government for many years. Now, if we look at these sides, we can see that how Palantir has evolved over the years. The commercial side of things, Palantir just started working back in 2016. So they are very new in the commercial side of things. So we know that there is a long runway for Palantir on the commercial side. But take a look at this. This is from the same SEC filing that they did. They are saying that they can get a customer up and running. Now this is huge, right? In some cases, our customers can now be up and running in 6 hours. This is mission critical. This is really, really important. See, time is money. And whenever a company sees this kind of performance that they can be up and running in 6 hours, hey, I'm going to raise my hand because I want a software that is going to solve my problem, save me money, and will only take about 6 hours to get installed and get up and running. Of course, they do a lot more complex things, but you can see that how it used to take a long time before, sometimes 14 days in Q2, but in some cases, they can be now up and running in 6 hours. This is a huge leap for the company. Okay, now let's talk about it, that what industries Palantir can put their nose in or Palantir has a business in. So as you can see from the list, there is no limit. And if you look at the list, AI, automotive, COVID, data protection, energy, insurance, law enforcement, manufacturing, sales and revenue, supply chain, and the list goes on and on. I mean, this is really, really critical. And as you can see that Palantir not only is a data analytics company, but it's actually solving the real world problem for all these sectors. Heck, just defense and health alone is such a big market that if Palantir gets 25% of the stake in these 2 industries, Palantir could be a multi-billion-dollar company in the very short term. But look, they have cases or they have solved issues in all these industries, which is really exciting. And this is directly from Palantir's website, this whole list of solutions that they have. Now, let's talk about the government side of business, because I feel that Palantir has established itself to be one of the most successful government contractors, and not successful by money or by revenue. No, I'm talking about by the use cases. So I pulled out a list of top 100 contractors for the government in 2019, and from that top 100, I made a list of top 10. Now, these are the top 10 contractors for the government, and this is the dollar amount that each of these contractors have made from the government. Lockheed Martin, $48.6 billion. Boeing Company, $28 billion. General Dynamics, $20 billion. Raytheon, $16 billion, and so on and so forth. So you can see these are big companies, and just from the government sector, they are making this kind of money. Now let's look at how Palantir is connected to some of this. Only some of this, okay? Now take a look here. So this is one of the latest news that Palantir stock wins FAA contract to oversee Boeing's 737 MAX fleet return. Now look at the size. Boeing is one of the second largest government contractor, $28 billion from government alone. Boeing received in 2019. Now look at this. 2019, Boeing received $28 billion. They cannot solve their 737 issue. They are relying on Palantir to come and assist them. Not only that, Army selects Palantir and General Dynamics to deliver prototype network data security tools. Again, Palantir and General Dynamics number 3 in the list, $20 billion just from 2019. Third piece of news, Army selects Palantir and Raytheon to support development of Titan intelligence system. Again, Raytheon, number 4 biggest government contractors in 2019 with $16 billion. So you see where I'm getting at, that all these big companies, they need Palantir's help to solve real world problems for them. So Palantir is becoming essential and important for all of these companies who are one of the most biggest government contractors. So that is why when I say that, you know what, the news that we get from Palantir, that Palantir won this contract, Palantir won this contract, those are all prime contracts. If you're from the government world, you know what prime and sub means. Prime is that you are the primary contract holder, and sub means that you are subbed by the primary contract holder. But we get the news for the prime contracts that Palantir won 7.4 million CDCs, Palantir won 111 million FAA. Those are all prime. But Palantir has been working with all these companies so well and for so long that I feel that Palantir is a sub to mostly all of them. Again, this is just a few that I found online. I'm sure they're working with these top 4. I'm pretty sure they're working with others as well. So I'm going to play a small video clip, and this is from the Palantir's channel. But what I have done is I have put together some pieces that I'm going to discuss after playing the video clip. Take a look at this video clip and see how essential Palantir is. What they're doing in this is mind-blowing. Take a look.
The Chinese Luoyang destroyer has gone dark and isn't showing up on intelligence feeds. The ship had previously been docked at a southern naval base, but AI models detect that it's now missing. Gotham fuses data from multiple sources to project likely paths for the Luoyang. The analyst identifies a key fork to monitor between the routes. To collect more imagery, machine learning models built by academic and commercial partners run on data across all domains. Models determine that satellite coverage alone is not enough to find the ship. Based on what is capable and ready, the system recommends a few alternatives. The best option is an aircraft from Okinawa. Before finalizing the selection, analysts deploy the latest micromodels, trained to avoid incoming threats, identify military equipment, and detect military ships. The unmanned aircraft receives its mission and prepares for takeoff. Time is ticking, and they need to find the ship quickly. As the aircraft departs, video streams back to headquarters in real time. A ship identification model detects the dimensions, speed, and weapon system of the destroyer headed north. An analyst back in the operations center verifies the detection, which confirms the Luoyang is on the most dangerous path and is only a few hours away from the potential blockade. The commander is briefed on the fast-developing situation and examines several human and machine-generated courses of action that have been jointly tested and developed in past exercises and simulations.
Okay, so wasn't it a nail-biting video? Like, think about it. I understand this was all notional, this is all in theory. But think about it, what Palantir just did. They solved a real-world problem within a matter of minutes. They combined land, sea, air, everything into a format that is easy to use, easy to understand, and easy to react. In the video, if you notice, and you can play back if you like, they say that the unmanned aircraft got a command. So they're not only analyzing the data, but they are actually launching this unmanned aircraft. And who made the unmanned aircraft? Lockheed Martin or Boeing or somebody, or one of those companies. Who made the ship? Maybe one of these companies. So what I'm saying is that all these big government contractors are working with Palantir to make sense of their own data. And that is why a report that directly connects, just look at this. This is from one of the articles that came out that says, currently the data in Fed is a custom $2.3 billion software platform built by defense contractors Raytheon Company, Lockheed Martin Corp, IBM Corp. Critics of the current system say it takes too long to learn how to use, crashes often, and sometimes misses obvious links between data sets. You see what's going on here, that the company or the government spent $2.3 billion to get this software made, and it's crap, according to the critics. Palantir is coming and sitting on top, getting the data feeds from this software and also many other softwares, making sense of it, and then delivering the results. And this is what makes me believe that Palantir is one of the most essential, I'm not going to say one of the most disruptive or one of the most advanced, no, I'm going to say one of the most essential companies of our generation, because data is going to get much more complex in the days and years to come. Along with that, take a look at the balance sheet, and this is just for fun's sake, right? I mean, this is just, look at the revenue of Lockheed Martin, $59 billion, and look at the Palantir's revenue for 2019, $743 million. So a $743 million company, which is so minuscule in front of Lockheed Martin, is helping Lockheed Martin to deliver what government hired them to deliver. So you see what's going on here. They are basically assisting these behemoths of government contractors in solving the real world problem. And that is why I feel nothing, if you take everything away from the company, okay, their Foundry, their Gotham, take everything away. But look what the company is doing. They are helping and assisting these government contractors to actually go out and deliver what these contractors thought that they could do it themselves. Data is getting too complex. These contractors are behind. They cannot catch up. And that's where Palantir comes with their new analytics platform and to deliver and kind of make sense of all the data. Data is the gold. You and I agree. And that is why Tesla, I'm going to bring Tesla here, why Tesla is winning against their competitors. Because they have more data than anything else. Not only that, they are making sense of that data. They are learning from that data. Elon Musk just announced that their AI Day is coming in a month. That AI Day will reveal how they are using data with their pure vision, how they're training their neural nets, and making sense of all the data that they're collecting on everyday basis. So I feel Palantir, where it's sitting right now, is a giant of a company right in the start or right in the beginning of what we are going to see a multi-year. Again, it's a long-term investment, guys. It's a multi-year game with this company. Now let's look at the stock very briefly. So stock, as we know, started off like back in September was $8, and then after that it became like $45 for the high, and then right now it's sitting at $25.40. We know that many more companies were kind of making new highs. But one of the important things that you have to remember that Palantir keep issuing more and more shares. I mean, right now if you see, share outstanding is 1.65 billion. They keep issuing new and new shares because they want to reward their employees. See, these guys were working in these government contracts and stuff way before IPO. They were not paid enough, and if for Palantir to attract good talent and to keep good talent, they have to keep offering them this kind of a stock-based compensation so that they can eventually go ahead and sell those options and get some money. And that's what they're doing right now. It's not going to continue for too long. I think after a year or 2 years, this is going to end. And from there, we're going to see a huge spike in the stock price. So again, if you are investing in Palantir, this is a long-term investment. And again, it was not bad at 20. It's not bad at 25. $5 on a stock is not going to be a big deal if you look at what company is really solving and what they are doing for the future. So I hope I was able to provide you some value, and if you get anything out of the video, then do me a favor and hit that share, subscribe and like button and help this video go out to more Palantir lovers. Thank you so much. Love you all. Until next time, you all have a wonderful day.